According to the latest information, Russia has captured half of Bakhmut after the Ukrainian army withdrew to the western bank of the river that divides the city in two. However, Ukrainian commanders claim that they do not intend to withdraw further and will continue to hold the city's defense. What is happening at the front line now? And is Ukraine able to hold the city? We will talk about this today. This is Conflict Report. I live in Kiev and tell you about the war through the eyes of an eyewitness. President Volodymyr Zelensky explained his refusal to retreat from Bakhmut by saying that after capturing the city, Russian forces might move on to Kramatorsk and Slovyansk. In fact, it's not quite clear how the defenders of Bakhmut can help Kramatorsk now. After all, the defense of the several kilometer-wide corridor through which the defenders receive their supplies consumes a lot of resources itself. The muddy country roads through which supplies take place are covered with damaged pickup trucks and armored vehicles. Wagner's artillery is completely shelling the corridor, although Russians cannot complete the encirclement yet. At the moment, Wagner's squads are advancing toward the town of Chasiv Yar, the most important point of the Ukrainian defense, and the real task for the Ukrainian army is to retain just Chasiv Yar. It is its capture that could pose a real threat to Kramatorsk and Slovyansk. Let's take a closer look at the situation in Bakhmut. Almost all the bridges in the city were blown up. Ukraine blew up a bridge over the Bakhmut River after retreating from the eastern part of the city. In turn, the Russian army was able to destroy the bridges through which the Ukrainian army received reinforcements. The only way to deliver ammunition and evacuate the wounded is now dirt roads. Spring rains make this option very dangerous and costly for Ukraine. In the south of Bakhmut, Russian mercenaries are trying to make their way to the exit from the city, which is known for photos and videos of Ukrainian fighters in front of the airplane monument. If this exit is captured, the road through Ivanivsky will be lost to the defenders. The mercenaries will have 2 kilometers to go to the second road, through Hromove. For now, Ukrainian soldiers are holding their defenses in the heights near the exit. For several weeks now, the defenders in Ivanivsky itself have been holding out. However, the road to the village is shot through, the bridge is blown up, and on the country road along the canal stands battered Ukrainian equipment. In the north, Wagner reduced the pressure on Hromove. Here, the Ukrainian armed forces recently managed to restore the destroyed bridge. However, the mercenaries shifted their direction on the offensive to the north, where on March 9 they captured Dubovo-Vasylkivka. This created new danger for Ukraine. Now Russia will clearly try to advance on Chasiv Yar, via Bogdanivka and Orikhovo-Vasylkivka, in order to bring down the entire Ukrainian defense. Only a major Ukrainian offensive or the crisis of Wagner itself, which is in a state of permanent conflict with the Russian Defense Ministry, can stop the degradation of the defense. According to the US military experts who recently visited the Bakhmut area, the continuation of the Ukrainian defense operation may be associated with diminishing returns, when the benefits will only diminish as the resources used increase. The loss ratio for the Ukraine in Bakhmut is worsening due to breakthroughs made by Russian forces on the northern and southern flanks. Avdiivka. Amid the dramatic defense of Bakhmut, Russia's renewed offensive on Avdiivka, a major suburb of Donetsk and the most important fortified area of Ukraine in that region, went almost unnoticed. Like Bakhmut, Avdiivka is also semi-enclosed. In the fall, Russian forces occupied fortified areas in Pisky and near the runway of Donetsk airport. Russian troops are now advancing against the Ukrainian troops in Opytne and Vodyane, from north of Avdiivka. Their progress is poor, although they managed to advance near Krasnohorivka. But the main change in the situation, which may have far-reaching consequences, occurred not on the ground but in the air. For the first time in a year, Russian aviation is conducting systematic aerial bombardment of the front line and rear of the Ukrainian forces. Bombing is carried out from medium altitudes with high explosive bombs. something that the Russian army has not done on a regular basis since last April, fearing casualties due to the Ukrainian air defenses. It's not quite clear why Russia decided to return to the tactics that had proven themselves back in Syria. Perhaps the Russian command believes that the Ukrainian air defense is quite scattered and weakened because of the constant shelling of Ukraine's energy infrastructure. If Russian aviation is able to bomb Ukrainian positions and avoid heavy losses in the process, it could seriously change the situation on the front. Kherson. Ukraine appears to be winning the long battle of the boats on the Dnipro River, in which both opponents staged small landing operations and shelling on islands near Kherson. According to the recent video, the Ukraine was able to land on the island in Belogrudov near Holopristan. Perhaps Ukraine will try to create small bridgehead here on the left bank, if not for future offensive on Crimea, then at least to draw Russian reserves here. As we can see, the biggest challenge for Ukraine is a possible breakthrough of the defense near Bakhmut, which puts at risk all the advantages that have been gained by the city's long defense. Every day Russia is expanding the corridor near the city, and if Ukraine finally decided to retreat, the defenders will have to break through kilometers of shelled roads rather than hundreds of meters. In any case, we will see in the future what will happen in reality and whose bet will win. In the meantime, thank you for your attention and live in peace.